Hello fellas, my name is Fernando Broca and some days ago I decided that I would participate in the Jame Gam Christmas Edition. I honestly was going to join it for a different reason, but it ended up not happening the way as expected. But after what happened with the game, I realized that I still could make a decent devlog out of it. So, the Jam theme was Christmas and the special object was Anvil. I quickly got the idea to make a game similar to Flappy Bird. You would play as Santa that needs to deliver 10 gifts, one of 10 being an anvil. And each time you deliver a gift, the physics become much lighter and faster. On the first day, I had already made the Santa and the weight system script by using the Godot project icon as some placeholder textures. Like Flappy Bird, the player is only able to jump, since in any replication the pipes are the moving stuff. For the weight system, the game will generate 9 random values, and the current Santa jump will be divided by all these values included in a constant one which is the angle. I also decided that for Santa to deliver gifts he will need to collect snow coins, so I spent an entire day working in a procedural generation system. I tried procedural tile maps until I reached a similar approach from this video, which is super RNG based. On the second day, I started by working on some of the game's prize sets. I decided to make them with no outline but instead focus on detailing it with shadows and light. Santa is for some reason using a steering wheel and the snow coins are looking kinda sus, if you know what I mean. By the way, talking about the snow coins, I was able to make Santa collect them, and this was the game's current state. There was also this weird bug happening to me where Santa would somehow disappear after jumping. I checked the game's code and realized that it was happening after I accidentally removed this line of code from the bagged script, which basically is responsible for creating the gift's weight that creates Santa's jump velocity. Later in the day I made the game HUD, so the player could keep track of how many coins he collected, how many gifts are remaining, and what's the approximate weight of the gifts. And I spent like 1 hour making an icon for the weight just to realize that it was too small. And did I fix it? No. On the third day, I started by making some sound effects using JSX, I don't know how to pronounce that, which is a free website that uses AI generated sound. Oh my god. Which is a free website that uses AI to generate sound effects, but you can also create your own sound effects by playing with the parameters. I also made this really cool parallax background, and since the coins are the objects that move, not the camera, I had to code my own parallax system instead of using Godot's predefined node. And to finalize the day, I started making the game's menu. On the fourth day, I finished making the game's main theme. It's an upbeat, happy, almost chiptune song. I made it sound like chiptune by adding the bridge crush effect in the track's control. This is how it sounds without and with compression. Talking about the music, I made so if you pause the game, the music would become a bit muffled. I made it using Godot's audio effects, and it was my first time using 10. Game jams are a really good time for you to try new stuff. I also made a result screen that will show if the player won or lost the game. For that, I also had to make it so the player could lose, and for now, the player will lose if you touch the borders of the screen. And the last thing that happened that day was that for some reason the coins weren't being spawned, or it took too long for them to spawn. I checked the game's code and found that this was happening because instead of making so the moving nodes went back to the screen's ending, they were going to the window size ending. So basically that means that playing the game in full screen will cause this bug, so I changed it so it gets the project settings Windows default size. Day 5 was a really straight day. I only revamped the game's menu and made this logo. And to finalize, on day 6 I added some enemies to make the game a little harder and a bit more interesting. And the reason this game is called Impossible in the video's title is because after I did this, I couldn't beat my own game. But hey, it still looked possible, so I ignored it. I also made a settings screen and this intro screen because I was too lazy to make a working tutorial. So I published the game, submitted it to the gen, and had to make a small update because the game's title was wrong. By the way, it was called The Levers. Now that I finished that vlog in the game, I'll tell you what was the original plan of this video. My original plan was that I was going to challenge a moderator of the Jame Gam server for a game dev competition. Basically with the title, I challenged the Discord mod to a game dev competition. Would you watch it? We were recording everything fine. Until on the last day, Dedted, the mod, said that he was feeling really bad, probably due to his medications. So basically we had to stop the competition. Shout out to Dedted. And don't need to worry, he's fine, okay? He's completely fine. And here's something funny, my Discord friend was playing this game and he basically broke his spacebar while playing the game. Now let's finish this video with the result of the gen. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See ya!